somebody says they teach nothing of this in many colleges. How do you feel about the new programming workforce? Well, I am a grunty, kind of blustery person, and so you will often hear me say disparaging things about the workforce, or web programmers. I will criticize them and this sort of thing. Really, that is unfair of me, and I know that it's true when I say those things, because there's nothing wrong with the modern workforce. That's just totally the wrong way to say things. And I think there are probably just as many smart people now as there were when I learned to program. And I know there are many people who are great programmers nowadays as well. And so I don't have any problem with the modern workforce. Mostly what I have a problem with actually is modern conventions. Because a lot of these people, like you were saying, they go to college and they are very smart people and they learn what they are exposed to. I would know nothing of any of these things that I am teaching you if I did not know people who knew them. I was fortunate enough to know experts who knew these things. And that is the only reason I know any of these things. I would never know any of them if it weren't for those experiences. And so the thing that I think is the real problem, and one of the reasons that I'm doing this stream, is because we just need to put this information out there. Smart people who know, who understand, like, the importance of performance-oriented code and writing code that works well and is reliable and those sorts of things. They're going to understand all of the importance of these things, of knowing how the computer works and understanding the security implications of memory and understanding the performance implications of memory and all those sorts of things. They're going to understand all those things. There's programmers out there that are way smarter than I am, I'm sure. But if they've never had the experience, they're going to be very, very hamstrung. It's going to be very limiting what they can do, and they're going to be limited to programming in Java abstractions that never let them achieve the full potential that they could be achieving. Their programs will always be slower. Their programs will always not be able to do these things, and that's unfortunate. And that does upset me to some degree, because I want everyone to be able to be as good a programmer as they can be, and when they do use abstractions, I want them to be I want it to be their choice what abstractions they use. I want you to be able to choose them, because I choose abstractions all the time. And the reason that I still program in C is because it lets me choose the abstractions. It doesn't force them upon me. And so I think a lot of the problem these days is that a lot of the languages, the modern languages, and a lot of the modern methodologies are just wrong. They're just bad methodologies. And it's unfortunate because a lot of these languages add features I would want. I want a lot of these things. Even garbage collection, which I often rail against. I really hate garbage collection. I don't mind the option to have garbage collection. I love to occasionally turn on garbage collection, maybe if I'm doing something where it might have been appropriate and it will save me some time if I'm testing something or whatever and I just want to use it. There's nothing wrong with those things. Those things are great if you know how they work, you understand what they do, and you're using them in a circumstance where you know that the pitfalls of those things will never harm you. They're great. And so do I want to see languages advance to the point where we can do all those things? Yes, I just don't want them to leave the old things behind, because the old things are very important. And being able to know what the CPU does and control it is very important. So yeah, I'm really excited about John's new language too, like I said, because he's starting to think about adding some cool things to the language, but still retain all that C and C++ stuff where you can actually write with pointers and do things like that you want to do.